Hi, Dave. I looked into my morning mirror and it revealed something to me that I had not been able to see. I saw someone that time.
Is never to give up on learning new technology, because you've got to keep ahead with it.
I think sometimes it's just best to get things done. Often with coding I tend to like things to be perfect before they're released, and Dave was a different thought that just basically get things done and fix the problems later.
Don't be afraid to try new things and simply go with your gut.
Everything is always an opportunity to have fun or have some type of comedy moment. It's amazing, and you crack me up. And one of the best things that ever happened to me was when I actually stayed at your house, because every moment I was just laughing my ass off because you are incredibly funny.
I learned that Dave is always patient.
I think Dave really sets a good example for bringing a smiling, happy face to the office and really keeping the mood positive. And it works wonders in terms of getting productivity out of people. So that's what I've learned from Dave.
That the most important thing to a business is good relationships between the staff.
What I've learned from Dave is not to take things so seriously. I can get way too worked up about the serious things in life, and Dave always sees the lighter side of it. And he always encourages us to get out of the office, you know, and going for a quick walk around the block, sucking in some fresh air, having a quick kick of the footy down the park, often makes us so much more successful in the business as well.
Funniest memory of Dave is when we did a trip to Sydney to see some suppliers, and we were in the airport, Sydney airport, great big long hallway, and a lady had dropped something out of a bag, and David picked it up and he sprinted up the hallway like this, and it was absolutely hilarious, and Terry and Richard and I were just laughing our heads off.
There used to be a wall just here, and I remember the day David and I bashed through it, and we took turns running through it like a bulldozer. It was just, seeing his expression was just really funny.
Yep.
Funniest memory has to be this. He's got the moves.
Oh well. My funniest memory of Dave is that one day we've got this big dog pool at the backyard, and nobody could even get close to it, and Dave used 2 plastic bags and a couple of newspaper, cleaned it up. And I was a cameraman, so that was the funniest memory.
When he made a deal in Gas that he would ride his bike for the next 3 times in the next week, and if he didn't, Richard got to slap him, and he failed to complete this goal, so he got a free slap in the face from Richo.
Funniest memory of Dave? I don't know if I can single one out. I only worked with him for a few months, but it seems like every day he came in, there wasn't a day without lots of laughter throughout the office. But especially when both Richard and David were here together, I think the brotherly antics were always worth a laugh.
A fantastically funny video of Rich and Dave in the office. I can't remember the circumstances anymore, but whatever it was, it meant that Dave deserved to get a slap in the face from Rich. So enjoy this.
Pretty face.
Is it?
All the best, buddy.
you, me, and Richard were all in Hong Kong accepting an award for the Fast 500. And we had elevator helicopter fights, and it was just hilarious because strangers would get on the elevator and we'd all pretend like nothing was going on, and once they got off, we commenced with the fighting again, and that was really fun.
What I'll miss the most with Dave leaving is his happy, positive energy that he brings to the office, and that I'll miss that. That's sad.
Yeah, what
I'm gonna cry now.
His humour. Yeah.
I think just the funny antics and the fun vibe that Dave brings to the workplace. I'll miss that the most.
Dave is just so funny. The funniest memory I have is Dave playing dress-ups in the office, up to umpteen shenanigans and making the entire office just wet themselves laughing. His culture and vibe always lifts the room, and that is something that we'll forever be grateful for, but also miss when Dave's not in the office.
You know, Dave is like a glue that puts everybody together. So I'd say teamwork. I miss this part a lot.
It's fun, quirky attitude that he brings to the office and his personality, and it simply won't be the same without him.
Dave is just so funny. The funniest memory I have is Dave playing dress-ups in the office, up to umpteen shenanigans and making the entire office just wet themselves laughing. His culture and vibe always lifts the room, and that is something that we'll forever be grateful for, but also miss when Dave's not in the office.
You know, bringing a smiling, happy face to the office, making everybody laugh, just, you know, somebody getting up and going around and having a chat to everybody during the day and lightening the mood. But apart from that, you know, the great ideas Dave brought, you know, even when he was in the US, Dave, you know, you always brought great ideas to our SEO meetings and things like that when you joined, so that was awesome, and we'll sorely miss you there.
Life is an enormous adventure, and you have your best years ahead of you, and it's going to be a great time, a great ride, so enjoy it.
To take up professional dancing, that's my advice.
Always be good to your mother and wear fresh underwear every day.
Gosh, mate, you've been at it for so long, you've added so much value. Now it's time for you and Jess and Dee Dee. Take some time, relax, take the pressure off and enjoy it. Travel, you love it, so make the most of it.
And just be you. If you bring the same enthusiasm and gusto that you've brought to your work at Vroom Vroom Vroom, you'll have success in whatever you do.
Go to gym, man. Go to gym. That's my advice.
Stay true to yourself. Just don't conform or change to what anyone else wants you to be, because you're a rare breed.
Always be yourself, Dave. Unless you can be Batman, then always be Batman.
Thank you. That's a cut.
That wasn't recording.
Cut!
Con los terroristas.
And do the Harlem Shake.